The dunk shot. Whether you're at an NBA game or just chilling at home, it always brings people to their feet. The crazier the dunk, the crazier the reaction. Now, of course, the slam dunk has come a long way from the Bill Russell, Wilt Chamberlain days. I mean, from Dr. J to Dominique to Michael Jordan to Vince Carter to Kobe Bryant to LeBron James to Blake Griffin to Zion Williamson to John Moran. I mean, the list just never ends. Now, we've been blessed to witness some insane dunks throughout NBA history, so this list I'm about to rattle off might be the toughest one I've ever had to put together. So here are my top 5 craziest NBA in-game dunks of all time.
Play clock at 5, score 4 goals, 3, a 2 home run and 1.
At number 5, I got Vince Carter with his two-handed reverse pump dunk on the Pacers. And honestly, it was tougher than tough to pick just one of Vince Carter's slams. I mean, this entire list could have been all Vince Carter, easy. But we're gonna reel it in, we're gonna focus, and we're just gonna concentrate on the one dunk that I picked. In the blink of an eye, just blew by a 35-year-old Chris Mullin. Like, where'd he go? No. Bye, Chris. As Vince explodes to the rim, you could see 7'4" Rick Smits come over to try to help, but then makes a smart business decision by getting out of the way. He's like, nope, I don't want none of that. Well, smart move, Rick, because Vince looked like he was gonna go up on one side, then came back around on the other and reverse it and flush it down backwards. Bam! At number 4, I'm rolling with Blake Griffin's baptism on big Kendrick Perkins. Flashback to 2012 when Blake Griffin had springs for legs. This was prime Lob City, and he and CP3 were a walking highlight reel every single night. So in the beginning of the third quarter in a regular season game versus the Thunder, the Clips were up by 19 points, and that's when Chris Paul threw an absolute dime to a cutting Blake Griffin. Blake cocked it back and just yammed it all over Big Perk and said, ha!
It's a physical game. Oh, man!
I remember this. I was in college celebrating my 21st. Well, actually, I don't really remember too much of that night, but I do remember seeing the highlights the next morning, and I remember seeing that dunk, and I was like, what was Big Perk thinking? No disrespect. Get out the way. It's Blake Griffin. Prime Blake Griffin.
Oh, get out the way. Get out the way. Get out the way.
Coming in at number 3 on my list, of course, that time Shaq pulled down the entire basket. Derek Coleman just finished a putback dunk on the other end of the court. You know, my guess is Shaq knew this going down the court. You know, Coleman just got a dunk. Shaq's going to get his revenge, but he's going to one-up him. He did more than one-up him. This is what he did on the very next play. Roll the tape.
Did almost put it in, too. Here's Bowie. Shaquille, whoa!
I've seen this play probably 1,000 times in my life, and each time I see it, I'm in shock. It never gets old. I mean, he posted this guy, Dwayne Shinchus. No disrespect, Dwayne. We have never seen this before, and we never will ever again, thanks to Shaq. Now, number 2 comes courtesy of Gerald Green. Green is the only non-superstar on my list, but he definitely deserves to be on it after this one. So Johan Petro, whoever that is, throws an outlet to Marshawn Brooks. Marshawn Brooks, whoever that is, throws a lob to Gerald Green as he sees him streaking down the court. Now leave it to the leaping ability of Gerald Green to catch it and then have the presence of mind to windmill it, bring it all the way down and cock it back and flush it home. Bam! Rarely do you see an in-game windmill off an alley-oop. It just doesn't happen. Go look again. One dude on the Rockets actually stands up, goes to celebrate, then quickly sits back down when he realizes he's not on the Nets. And my number 1 craziest NBA in-game dunk of all time goes to none other than DeAndre Jordan. Again, prime Lob City plus a prime DeAndre Jordan plus a Chris Paul dime equals a recipe for disaster for the defense. In this case, the defense was Brandon Knight. Now, I know what the haters are going to say. Brandon Knight, 6'3", DeAndre Jordan, pushing 7 feet. They're supposed to do that to the little men. But I don't want to hear it. This dunk was too crazy. Chris Paul comes around the perimeter and tosses the ball up to the hoop. Then out of nowhere, DJ swoops in, catches it just inside the dotted line, and keeps going up. I don't know what Brandon Knight was thinking, jumping with a prime DeAndre Jordan, but he did it anyway. It turned out to be a poor business decision because Knight ended up getting flattened. DJ just absorbed the contact, Knight looked like he hit a brick wall and just fell, and he just laid there for a little, which made it even worse. But the power, the distance, the height, the mean mug from DeAndre Jordan, the bench's reaction, I mean, this dunk just had it all. Listen, like I said, this is by far the toughest list I've ever had to come up with. I mean, I left off MJ's baseline dunk on the Knicks versus Patrick Ewing. I promise I didn't forget about Sean Kemp's dunk on Alton Lister. It killed me to leave T-Mac on Sean Bradley off the list. But what am I supposed to do? I'm only human. It's top 5, not top 10 or 15. But let me know what you think. Let me know in the comments right now. I know you got something to say. My name is Brad Parker, and that's my top 5.